Okay, this says that I am live. And hey everyone, I'd like to say welcome back to the next video. So today I decided to do this live because, well, once again, you know what, I'm having some trouble um, putting the video up, but that's not going to stop me, is it, from making videos? So here we go. Well, today I'm going to talk to you parents, all right? Because, this is, I'm Shauna Partlow. I'm a teen relationship coach, and that is what I do. I help parents, all right, connect with their teens so you can talk about all issues. But today I'm going to talk to you, the parent, mom, dad, all right? And I'm going to talk to you about um, of course, your teen, okay? And if you have a teenager that is like 17, 18, 19, and maybe they are a senior, maybe they've graduated. This age, so there's pivotal ages, okay, within like the teen realm. And one of those, of course, is 13. So when they turn 13, that is a pivotal age. It's a pivotal stage in their life. So 13, 16, and then 17. That 17, which is 17, 18, 19, those three can go hand in hand, especially the 17 and 18-year-old. All right. So it all kind of depends where they are when they graduate, because you might already have someone that's already graduated and they were 17 years old. You might have someone who is maybe going to graduate and they're 19 or they're about to be 19. So those three ages can kind of correlate into the same 17, 18, 19. So for myself, that was actually the most difficult age for me in parenting. My teens was 17, 18, 19 years old, because really truly because a lot of it is control. We are so used to having a lot of control, especially, they're babies and then they start growing up and you start releasing a little bit more control, which we should. Not everybody does, but we should. And when we do that, we have to, uh, it's hard. Really, that's what it is. It's hard. It's hard for us as mom and dad to actually let go of control. And so maybe they're seniors, maybe they are in college right now, and you are having a really hard time with your parenting them. But as what I'm going to talk to you about today is how your teen feels, okay? So when you are parenting that age, 17, 18, 19, this is some of the things that your teen feels like is, oh my gosh, you know what? I'm so old. I don't know if you've heard your teen say that, but I hear a lot of teens say that. Now that they're a senior, oh my gosh, I'm so old. I feel so old. When they've graduated, I feel so old. I don't know what to do. And that's one of the things that they talk about. That's one of the things that they say. Another thing that you hear them say, and then I'm going to go into this a little bit more, okay? Another thing you hear your teens say is this. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with myself. I don't know what to do with my life. So here's the reason why they'll say this, um, is the not knowing what to do with themselves is because, oh my golly, everybody is asking them, right? So what are you going to do now? What are you going to do with your life? Do you have any plans? What's your future look like? Everybody is asking them and they don't know what to say. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And your teen starts to feel so overwhelmed, so pressured, because everybody is asking them that. And they start asking them those questions, that specific question, when they're a junior in high school. Oh, hey, you're about to be a senior, aren't you? So what are you going to do with your life? Hey, you're about to be a senior. Hey, what are your plans? Do you want to go to college? You going to just work? What are your plans? And they're like, oh, I don't know. So then when they keep saying that, I don't know, and everyone's asking them, so what do you want to do? I don't know. I don't know. They're like a broken record. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Okay. I don't know. That's how they feel. And inside, they're really thinking, will you please stop asking me that same question? Because guess what? I still don't know. When you asked me that last month, when you asked me that last night, when you asked me that the last time I saw you, I still don't know. And I don't know how I'm going to know because I don't know any of that. And they're so overwhelmed, they're so pressured, and they just want to, like, oh my gosh, they want to run and they want to hide and they want to get away from you, the person that's asking that, whether it's you, mom and dad, or just any other person, because they are like so tired of hearing that question because they really don't know. So I'm going to help you here in a minute to give your teen some things on how they can know and what you can do, okay? As the parent, as the mom, as the dad there, because your teen actually really does not know, and they really are struggling. They really are overwhelmed. There is so much pressure on them. And then, they have school, and then they have sports, then they have friends, then they have their home life. So they just, everything just starts to pile up. So if their attitude might be a little bit crappy right now, sometimes that's what it is because their mind is constantly thinking, gosh, well, what am I going to do? When are they're going to ask me that question again? What am I supposed to say? Because I really don't know. I really don't know. I wish they would shut up and stop asking me that question. So sometimes parents, all right, you, mom, dad, have to stop asking that question. And it doesn't mean that you stop asking that question. I know I just said stop asking that question. So you're like, well, what the heck do you mean then, Shauna? Because it doesn't even make any sense. Well, hey, I'm glad you asked. So here, you don't keep pushing the same question, okay? And is what you do then is this. Hey, Sarah, we're going to have a little talk here about, what is it you do want to do? All right? And then you start thinking about, and we're just going to talk about this so that, see, you're letting them know that, you know what, we are going to have a conversation about your future, about what you do want to do with your life. So we're going to have a talk about that. So whether it be then on the spot, or it's going to be in a few hours, or it's going to be, hey, this coming weekend, we really are going to talk about what you want to do in with your life, with, like when you graduate, because hey, that's not a bad thing, son. It's not a bad thing. Okay, my sweet darling daughter. But let's just talk about it, all right? And see, you want to take off the pressure. You don't need to be a jerk about it. You don't need to be ruthless and rude and mean, all right? You're just going to have just a little conversation. So in that conversation, then you can just be saying, so what things do interest you? So let's just talk about that. What what are things that you like to do? Okay, so you can either be writing this down, have your teen write it down too. And the reason why you write, okay, and I've said this before, is because it helps a trigger in the brain. It helps in their own brain when they start writing things down. And when they see it from to pen to paper, it helps them with their own memory. So as they are writing it and hearing it and listening to it being said, because as they write it, you can repeat it. So I kind of like to draw. Oh, okay. All right. You like to draw. So then they write that down. I like kids. All right. So, like, when you're saying I like kids, like, what kind of things do you like with kids? What? And let them kind of answer, okay? If they're pausing, let them answer this stuff. You can throw in some things. Hey, you know what? You are right because you are really good with kids. You have cousins and you're really good with your cousins. The neighbor kids, you really are great with them. And when you babysit, all the kids you babysit for, they really like you. So, and then you're going to see within themselves some uplifting things like, oh, okay, that is, hi, okay, all right, okay. So then something else you can do, okay, is um, find some job fairs that are coming up and go with your super fantastic teen to these job fairs. And they might not want to go. Well, I don't want to go. Well, hey, that's okay because guess what? You get to go. All right. It's not that big of a deal. So let's not make it a big deal. We're just going to go check it out and I'm going to go with you. We can go together to check it out and just see what it is. There's a couple different ones. Sometimes, there's different colleges that have even college fairs that you can go to and participate in. And even if they're thinking, well, you know what, I don't want to go to college. Well, hey, that's okay. We can just go check it out and see what they have to offer. And in the midst of what they're offering, that might help trigger something within you that is like, oh, hey, you know what? I never even thought about that. That is something that I kind of like to do. So it doesn't mean that they're going to that college. It doesn't mean they're going to go to college. And if they don't go to college, you need to think about how you're going to feel about that, okay? Because here's the biggest thing for parents, it's not your life. All right. So if you don't get anything out of this video, remember this: your teenager, the life that they're going to have, the future, the career, it's not about you. It's not about what you think they should be doing. It's not about what you think they should be, where they should be going, what college they should be attending. It's not about anything for you for that. I've known, and actually, this has been more guys than it has been girls that I have actually talked to for teens, where they went to college, they went to the school that their dad wanted them to go to. So it was the dad that was really putting the pressure on them. And these guys, which, not necessarily knowing each other, but they hated it. They hated the college, they hated the school, but they went because their dad was the one pushing them and saying, like, this is where you need to go to school. And like, there was no, that was the decision. You're going to college here. This is what you're going to study here. So that was the decision. And they, you know what? Guess what? Hated it. Whether they like their career today, I don't know. But the point is, it's not your life to be pushing on to your teenager. You need to let them decide some things, all right? And and it's okay for you to give them some guidelines, some direction, because that is your job to do that, is to give some direction with your teen, all right? But not for you to be so forceful and so opinionated to the point to where your teen shuts down, they stop talking, there is no talking with them anymore because you're doing all the talking. So if you want your teen to listen to you and participate in the conversation with you, then sometimes you need to make sure that you're actually having a conversation with them, not you saying, "Well, this is what I think you should do. Well, this is where I think you should go. Well, I think you should study and be this person. I think you should really do this." Because, they might not wanna do that. They might be thinking, "Well, um, I don't wanna do that, so I'm not even gonna respond to that." So when you see their mannerism totally start to just shrink down and they don't really have anything to say anymore, and they really want the conversation to end, and maybe they were excited a little bit before, but now they're not so excited anymore because you have you have been the one controlling the conversation. So I hope you understand what I'm saying by that you're controlling it. You're doing all the talking, you're doing all the saying, this is what you should do. And then basically if they have an opinion, then you're like, no, I don't think that's what you should do. You know what? Let them say it. Okay? Because it doesn't mean they're going to do that. Uh, I even remember when my daughter was talking about going to school and she wanted to go away to New York. And of course, inside I'm like, oh my gosh, my baby's gonna go to New York. So, I let her talk about it. I let her say it all the time as often as she wanted to do it. Even if she got brochures from a specific college. You know what? That's what she was very interested in doing that. She did not end up going there uh, myself, I was like, "Woohoo, yay!" So happy about that. But, I had to then be okay with, what if she does go there? What if that is where she ends up going to school? Because guess what? It's not about me. It's about where she wants to go, what she wants to do with her life, with what she wants her career to be, not what I think I needed her to be. Okay? So, that is huge. That is a major thing that will help your teen with that question. Oh my gosh, what am I supposed to do? And and you probably will have to have more than one conversation with this, especially okay, because a lot of times that conversation does start with them as a junior. And then part of the thing, you have to take off that pressure from them and stop asking them that same thing all of the time. Well, oh my gosh, you know what? Now you're a senior. And so what are you going to do with your life? Because that's not actually helping them. When you ask that same question, that does not help them with a response to the question. So when they really don't know, then that's where you start saying, well, you know what? Let's talk about that and let's see what you do know. Let's see what areas that you do want to, um, what would be interesting to you. Let's see some areas that would maybe trigger something for you, and that would also even be that, hey, let's set up some people that you can job shadow with, and see how you liked maybe working in this specific area, this specific field. Let's talk to some people that, so I mean, even if their thought of what they want to do is just even small, hey, you know what, write it down. It could be 50 things, it could be 3 things. Just, you know what, we're just going to write it down. I'm going to write all things that interest you, all the things that you feel like you would want to possibly do, participate in, just have this. Because even this, even if they do go to college, okay, and their career, and they do go for something, it doesn't mean that they have to stay in that career for the rest of their life, right? So that's kind of nice about that too, is they can go to school, because I've known people too that have gone to college and went back to school like 3, 4 different times, and uh, it doesn't mean that they didn't didn't make any money, that they, couldn't pay their bills, or that they were just a professional student. It was just, hey, you know what? I feel like I want to do this now. So, you know what? Let them, right? Because it's their life, not yours. So, to where they just start building up other things, interests and activities and things that they're doing in their life, because guess what? That's okay. It's okay. So when your teen wants to do something and wants to do these other things, you know what? Yeah, of course, you got to let them sometimes, don't you? And just guide them, because that's your job, is to guide them into things, into doing stuff. And another thing, um, okay, if they're job shadowing, having some interest, that is a really good thing. And because then it can kind of help them as they do go along with some of these career choices and decisions. And if they go to college, all right, and because I've known teenagers that have gone to college and then ended up not finishing college because, I mean, different reasons, but there's been several guys, again, the guys that have actually stopped going to college because they've said, you know, I stopped going to college because all I was doing was partying. I was, and I couldn't do that anymore, because that's all I did was party every single day, all the time. So I had to stop going to college, because I was definitely paying a lot of money to party. So, which I got to say, it was pretty commendable on their part to, you know what, stop going and doing that. So I was like, hey, good for you that you stopped doing that, and that you realize I cannot continue doing this for a full 4 years of my life. But then I do know some people that have gone to college and did party the entire time, the entire 4 years of their so-called education. And here's another thing too. So then sometimes we want our teens to go to college, go to the school, we think they should go to, study what we think they should be studying, and then your teen, here's how your teen feels again. Sometimes, okay, here's different levels in this. Sometimes your teen is like very excited about that and happy about that, because like, yes, I can get away from my mom. Oh my golly, this day could not have gotten here any sooner. I'm so happy to get away from my dad. Oh my gosh. And sometimes teens, like, oh my gosh, they're so dramatic. But sometimes, you know what, that is true. Sometimes that is real. My mom is so controlling. My mom is so pushy. My dad is so pushy. He's so controlling. Wants me just to do, you know, just everything that they want me to do. So sometimes your teen is so excited about them. That's the best day of their life, is leaving home. We do want them to, leave home, right? I have a video about that, right? I think somewhere in there that's talking about your teen living in your basement for the rest of your life, not theirs, but yours. You can check that video out. It's in the library in here somewhere. Also, if you are super pushy and aggressive as a mom, dad, or if you that your opinion is the only opinion that matters, and you don't let your teen share anything or say anything and speak what they feel, that you're pretty just like hovering over them, and you're so strong with your everything has to be done your way or no way. Yeah, your teen, most of the time, they cannot wait to get away from you. And sometimes when they do go off to school, because maybe they've been so extremely sheltered, when they do go to school, sometimes that teenager ends up partying like a crazy person, and there's no self-control, they're just like crazies. So, sometimes that's one of the reasons why is because their home life was so just confined, all right? And I'm not saying every single teenager, and a lot of times too, what's the personality of your teen? Are they super, super compliant and they're just gonna, just go along with whatever you say, and, that you don't even notice that about them because you have been so controlling that you don't even notice the personality of who your teen is, and, that's something that you have to check yourself on. So, you might wanna do that, and especially, like I said, you have a senior maybe right now, or maybe even your, uh, teen has graduated, alright? So then this is how they feel, and maybe they are home, maybe they have not gone off to school, and all their friends have, and now they're like, "Oh my gosh," like, they're almost depressed because everyone's gone away to college and I'm the only one here. I'm such a loser and I'm just working. I'm not really doing anything. Here's other so yes, you definitely need to hear what your teen is saying. Okay, let them talk. Let them have the conversation. Okay? Do not try to fix this for your teen. Let them say how they feel. That is so huge because here's what happens, all right? As your teen gets older, the relationship with your teen changes, at least it should. And it should be changing to where it changes and it starts to shift to where you now become a soundboard for them, all right? And sometimes, and this is even, like when they're even 13 and your teen, man, school is hard and there's a lot of not nice people in school. And they come home and maybe they're crying and they're just, their hearts are sad and their hearts are broken and um the friends that they thought were their friends are not really their friends and they're backstabbing and talking trash about them. You know what? They need someone to talk to. And mom, dad, you need to be that someone because if not, they will find somebody online, won't they? Social media is rampant. They will find someone that will definitely listen to them. And that is your job. It really is. It's the job of mom and dad to be listening to your teenager and really your child at any age, but as they start climbing up in these teen years, the struggle is real. So you do need to be listening to them and hearing them. Again, do not try to fix it, okay? Because you listening is not you trying to fix it. You listening is this. Mhm. Okay, honey. Feeling what they're saying and trying to understand, not trying to fix it and make it better for them, okay? Because you're not. You're not making it better when you just start saying stuff and you start saying, "Well, this is what you should do. Well, this is what you need to do." It's like this what you need to do, mom, is zippy the lippy. Dad, you need to just shut up, okay? Just stop trying to fix it because that's not helping. So your teen, as they get older, okay, and they're in these um, so they've graduated, and now, again, like I said, maybe they have someone that has graduated. Now they're home and they're not going off to college, and they feel kind of lonely. They feel like a loser because they didn't go off to college. You know, of course, they're not a loser because they did not go to college. All right. Hey, the fact that they're going to be working, that's good. So reassure them that no, they're not. But here is a huge thing on how teens will feel also, and that is because when I just said earlier that you'll hear them say, "Oh my gosh, I'm so old. I'm so old." You know, bust out laughing, please, because, oh my gosh, you are 18, you are 17, you are 19 years old. You are far from old, buddy. All right, little missy, you are definitely not old. So, but they feel old because what have they done the last 4 years? What have they done for the last 12 years? And now, because, see, it was such a routine, wasn't it? They were routine. This is what I do. I get up, I eat breakfast, I go to school, I do some homework. The routine was there. I come home and it's all through 12 years and especially like those last 4 years, it has been structured, has been routine, it has been what they do. They know exactly what they do every single day. And then they start feeling well, because that was such a structure of this is what I do. And now that they don't have that, they're lost. They don't know what to do. Like they're just roaming. Man, and even though, hey, you may have had a struggle, like you better get your little butt out of bed or and I will drag you to school. So it may have been like that too, okay? But now that they're out of school, you know what? It was still a routine. It was still what they knew. They still knew Monday through Friday, this is what I do. They still knew on Saturday, Sunday, this is what I do. And now that they're not in school, they don't have that structure. They don't know what to do. And now they're lost and now they're roaming. And that's why they feel like, oh my gosh, I'm so old because everybody else that's younger than them, they still are in that structure. They still are in that routine and they know what to do with their life every single day. So sometimes your teen will feel like that when they're feeling like, gosh, I'm so old and man, I'm such a loser and I don't know what to do with my life and I don't know what to do with myself and they feel like depressed. That is one of the reasons. And that is the reason why is because that structure is gone now. So now they have to develop what? A new structure, don't they? A new routine. So if they're going to be working, that's going to be now the new routine. And you just listen to them. You let them say how they feel, okay? Again, do not try to fix it. They're not asking you to fix the problem. They're not asking for a solution. Excuse me. They're asking for you to listen. Listen to me with how I feel because how they feel is real and they need to express how they feel, all right? To someone. And hopefully it's going to be you, mom, dad. Because like I said, because they will find someone or they keep it so much within themselves and they just end up super, super depressed. All right. So then that's how you help them. That's how you can help so called fix it. Okay. Even though I said don't try to fix it, but that's how you help fix it. And that's by listening and reassuring them. Okay. You can help them, maybe help them with their resume, help them with what type of job, okay, that we're going to, we as in they, to help them apply for. So that's how you can help them. And if they and then that's what you can say to them. You know what? Well, I'll help you. I can help you with a resume. I can help you. We can look together to see what kind of jobs are out there. We can talk to these people to see what kind of jobs that might interest you. And again, see, there you go again, writing stuff down. Okay. And also, here's another thing too. All right. So if your teen has been part of a youth group, if your teen had been going to church and see, there's the routine again, every Sunday, all right, they know what to do. When your teen, if they've gone to youth group, okay, sometimes youth group's on Sunday, sometimes it's on Wednesday, Tuesday, whatever the day it's on. And again, your teen starts to say that, gosh, I feel so old. And sometimes the youth groups will let them stay there. But 19, 20 years old, 21, it kind of depends. It depends on the youth group, depends on the youth pastor, and it depends on the church on how they structure that stuff, on how they do what they do, because sometimes then they get implemented as a leader. And but not all teenagers want to be a youth leader, do they? No, they don't. Sometimes they just want to go to the youth and just kind of be there. But again, they start feeling, well, now what am I supposed to do? So if they have to go from being in youth group now to which you hear a lot of them say big church, that sometimes it's hard for them to do that because they don't again know what to do, all right, because they've done that for how long. That has been their structure. That has been what they do every Wednesday, every Sunday, every week. That is what they do. So that when that structure starts to lose, then you just start to reassure them, you know what, honey, it's okay for you to come and sit with us. And then they just sometimes feel awkward because and they feel like, well, I'm the only one. I'm the only one doing this. Well, you know what? Even if you are the only one, it's okay. You know what? It's all right. Because now you're growing into a fine adult. You're growing into a man. You're growing into a beautiful lady. And this is this is the next step. This is the next what you do. So then you talk to them and you show them, well, this is what you do. You don't have to get mad at them. You don't have to say, oh my gosh, stop being so dramatic. You're just so dumb. You know what? That's true. They truly do feel that way. All right. So you need to be sympathetic. All right. Not like babying them, but hear what they're saying and hear what they're saying. Okay. And then you, mom and dad, you just talk with them about it. Help them along the path. Because, like I said, it's still your job to do that. It's still your job to be helping them, guiding them, and directing them in the way they should go. So that just helps them to get to the next step in their life, that next journey, that next season within their life. All right. So I hope that this helps you. I hope that this has given you some things to think about and some things to and some nice thoughts, okay? Again, and if your teen, like I said, and if they don't go to college, you just kind of help them along the path of career, job, whatever that they'd like to do. Okay, if they are in college, and of course, you can participate with them, whatever it is that they're doing, but just make sure that your control is relinquishing. Okay, because I know it's hard. I understand. I understand. I know it's hard to do that, but it's okay. Take some deep breaths because you can do this. Uh, Maybe run around, go for a walk, uh, shed some tears amongst yourself because your baby's growing up. I know. I'm sorry I didn't have to say that, did I? But anyway, I hope that this helped you. Okay. And I will be seeing you in the next video. All right. So thanks for watching. Okay. Now if I can turn this off. Okay.